everybody. I know this is a real like new look. It's like, wait, this guest ain't really actually physically here. But we gonna tap in. It's your girl Shai. It's episode 4 of season 2. We're getting it in. And I really wanted to bring a really special guest. She's holding it down right now in the ATL. You know what I'm saying? I met her through our lovely friend Mimi. I think a blessing to disguise. Fellow Pisces, fellow nurse.
Yeah.
You see the lashes popping. You see the hair popping. This is my girl Megan. Welcome.
What's up?
Hey. How are you?
Good.
You see, she got her own studio, guys. She got her own studio.
Right.
You look at the background. She got a ring light. This is professional, okay? She didn't come to play. Well, thank you for tapping in with me. I was like, I want to try the Zoom thing, and Jake said he can make it work. And so here we are, baking and shaking. But, of course, everyone wants to know who you are, where you from, what you grew up at, all the tea. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Megan. I'm from Gainesville, Georgia, which is 45 minutes from Atlanta. But I live in Atlanta, Georgia now.
Cool.
ATL, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. City of doing too much.
Yeah, for sure.
To be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doing way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so, I just living in the city. I'm a nurse. So I be night shift at that. So I just be work hard, play harder, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
So nurse, because you're my first nurse on here. So was that something that you always wanted to do, or that just kind of came when you got older?
Yeah. Okay. So going into college, my senior year of high school, me and my mom really sat down and we're okay, so we need to kind of have a plan and an idea of what I kind of want to get into when it comes to picking a major in college.
Right.
And so I knew I wanted to do something medical wise, but I wasn't really sure what avenue I wanted to go down. No. And so I was kind of stuck in between being an athletic trainer and then being a nurse. Mm-hmm. And when weighing out the pros and cons of each, I really decided that going the avenue of being a nurse was what was best for me, just because of scheduling wise, athletic trainers have bizarre schedules.
Right. Yeah.
They don't even have schedules for real.
Yeah.
Scheduling wise, I knew eventually I want to raise a family, and that's hard as an athletic trainer, and but I did know I could not work, and nothing against people who work desk jobs, regular Monday through Friday 9 to 5. If that's how you get in your bag, get in your bag. Yeah. And there's jobs for everybody, but I knew me, I couldn't do that in life. I needed something new and exciting every day.
Yeah.
And I feel nursing would have brought that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So, I went through the prerequisites and all that's just fine. And then I applied to nursing school and I got in and then started nursing school, and child, that journey in itself.
Look, ooh. I already know. It was a lot.
God really had to teach me a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. That, it was some really hard times in my life, to be honest. Some really humbling moments, some really really learned how to trust in God's plan for my life through all of that. And really depending on his reassurance, and I don't know, it was a lot. And then at that, once I got into nursing school, in the middle of nursing school, COVID hit.
Yeah. And you was playing basketball too, right? At the same time, or were you? Yeah.
Yeah. So all of college, I played basketball, which is how I met who y'all call Mimi. We call her Para, which is so
really?
funny.
Oh.
Yeah. So we just call her Para, or I'm gonna put her government name out there because sometimes we're Japara Jendea Elise McCahan Edwards.
Period.
Put some respect on her name.
Add the Edwards to it.
Add the capital Edwards, right?
Yes.
So I met Japara through basketball. and then we did nursing school together, which is really where like our bond really strengthened, because
Love
like
that.
nursing school in itself, like you spend a lot of time, if you're not in the classroom or clinicals, like you're in the library studying.
Yeah.
And if we wasn't in the classroom, clinicals, or the library studying, we was at basketball practice. So like we would joke around and be like, we are with each other way too much.
Yeah.
Like we was like with each other 24/7,
Yeah.
like all the time. But that's a good person to be around 24/7.
No, listen, like Mimi, she's so humble, but it's like, girl, like you really like, you're like one of those friends. Is like you'll be dumb to unfriend her, like off of stupid stuff. Like she is there through thick and thin and so calm and collective. It's like she's never shaking in her boots. It's like, what, like. So I'm glad that you had somebody like through that, because clearly, like outside looking in, I already know nursing is hard, but for you guys to go through that together, I bet that kind of like made it slightly better. Like, okay, I'm not the only one that's doing this. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and you know, you say like she's so calm and collected, and like me as a Pisces, like I'm emotional. When it comes to certain stuff, like I'm 0 or 100.
Yeah.
So like either like I really don't care, or like I really care.
Yeah, no
like,
in between.
There's no in between. And so she was definitely like a rock through a lot of all of it, just because she was so like cool, calm, and collected, and so reassuring through like all of the trials that nursing school would bring. Or like we'd be studying, and my mind is over here just chit chatting about oh boy, or this, that, and the third, and she's like, okay, come on,
like wrap it up.
Like we got to get to the body systems now. Like she really kept me on my feet, to be honest. And like I am really so blessed that she came, that God brought her all the way from Washington to Georgia. And I don't know why he did, and I don't know why she came to the state.
I know.
But
I was so shocked. I was like, you're going where? When I heard she going where? But I'm glad. We're going to tap into Mimi a little bit later, because I got a topic for us to discuss. But I'm glad. I'm hoping that people who are listening, who are in the like going in the medical field, is like, you're giving us the real tea. Like, because normally people, oh, it's great, it's wonderful, I went through that, I did my 4 years, I'm great, I'm good. But no, you gave us the nitty gritty. So I appreciate you telling us that, you know?
Which it's funny that you say that, because I was in college for 5 years. My track was a lot different than a lot of people.
Yeah.
And that's when I say like that was like some of the hardest times of my life, because like really tapping into like learning how like timing plays such a vital role in everyday life, like God's timing for your life. You could like just where you are in this exact moment, where I am in this exact moment, or you are in this exact moment, like that's exactly where we're supposed to be. And although sometimes it's not what we have planned for us, or like what's ideal for us, or what I have imagined, like it always works out for the greater good, you know?
Right.
And so tapping into that. So through nursing school started and COVID hit, right? And then, so we went online for the second semester.
Yeah.
So our second semester of nursing school was like the weed out year. So that's where like you really decide like, are you cut out for this or are you not? So having a weed out, or like semester, I guess, the weed out semester, and then at that it's all online because of COVID, like it sent everybody into a whirlwind. So I ended up failing a class, which in nursing school, if you fail a class, you have to wait a whole year to retake it.
Gotcha.
Right. So then at that point, I'm not graduating with any of my friends anymore. I have to pay for a whole nother year of college. I have to go to a whole new nursing cohort. Like everything is set back a whole year.
Right.
So it's COVID, and then I just learned my whole life is set back a whole year. Like I'm like not well.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm calling Mimi every day crying, like, am I supposed to be a nurse?
Right.
Like, is this what I'm supposed to do? Because it's given no.
Yeah.
Like it's given this isn't what I'm supposed to do. And so through that, like I really, and I have a tattoo that's on my arm right here that says day by day, that I got tattooed on me after that, because really after that, I really like learned to just like take it every day in life, like one day at a time, like not looking so far ahead, because you really don't know what's going to happen.
Don't. Yeah.
Like, we have no idea what's gonna like take place. And so in the meantime, in that 1 year, thankfully, since COVID happened, we got an extra year of eligibility. So
Mm-hmm.
during my 5th year of college, I could still play basketball. Because I don't know how people are just regular students, like, more power to y'all, but like, I
Yeah.
don't have the motivation. I don't
Period.
have, like, basketball was my motivation. Like, I gotta keep my grades great. Like, I gotta like stay focused. I gotta
Uh-huh.
stay in class, stay in school, because if not, then I can't play basketball.
Right.
And so whenever I found out like I had extra year eligibility, like, that's when I really decided, like, okay, am I just going to take a year off of school and then
Mm-hmm.
come back and retake this class?
Mm-hmm.
Or I have to take 12 credit hours at least in order to play basketball.
Mm.
So in the meantime, I got my psychology degree,
Period.
and then I retook the class, and then I got back on track to graduate. So I got to play basketball for my 5th year, which was nice because having like Mimi's last year of basketball was COVID year. Like, we couldn't even have fans in the stands. Like, she had nobody walking her out on senior night. Like,
Yeah, I remember
it
that.
was we was just playing pickup,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
We was going to games and playing pickup because nobody else was there but us. We
Yeah.
was wearing masks at practice. Like, it was miserable. I'm not gonna
Right.
lie, it was miserable. Like,
Yeah.
it really separated the people of like who's just here and who has a love for the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because when it's just you and another team in a gym and nobody else but the refs,
There's no like motivation to it. Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Do you love the game or do you not? So I was glad that for my last year I got to have like more of like a real basketball experience and all.
Yeah.
But so then I got my psychology degree, and then I ended up finishing nursing school, and then yeah, I
Period.
graduated as a nurse. But it's funny because during COVID, when I was failing that class, I had a teacher ask me like, "What is your backup plan?" And
Yeah.
I was like, "I don't have a backup plan. Like, I only got plan A, and that's to be a nurse. Like,
Yeah.
there is no plan B. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you." And so it was really like crazy how like people really doubt you just when there's a little bit of a roadblock in your life. And just because there's a roadblock doesn't mean that you're stopped,
Yeah.
but just that there's a redirection. And sometimes that redirection has a purpose and it's going to lead to
Mm.
like a greater ending.
Yeah.
But trusting that process is really hard. But yeah, so now
Look at
graduated,
Meg
I'm a nurse.
talk. Yes.
Yeah.
No, I feel you, and I'm glad that you kind of ended off with that because we was just discussing like over text like just how times are now. You're expecting at a certain age that this is automatically supposed to happen. It's like
No.
at 25, I'm supposed to do this, or at this age, I'm supposed to do that because of what you see other people doing. It's just like, why are we like? It's kind of like back to that one episode with James that I was saying, like, why do we seeking validation? Why do you think, like, everyone, you just say everyone has their own path and it's all in God's timing? And I had to learn that myself. Like, it's just like everything didn't go as planned. I thought, fresh 18, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to graduate by 21. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be good. I'm pushing 25 now and ain't none of that happened. But it's okay. And I had to really like
But look at you.
I'm trying. I'm really
You're
trying.
thriving.
You
You're
know?
not trying. You're thriving.
Love that. Thank you. And I just like, okay, for Mimi, for example, Mimi got married at 23. That is unheard of nowadays. Like, or you just see that like in a movie or on social media with our fave celebrities and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure like one person came to me and was like, "Oh, I heard your friend got married. How does that make you feel? Like, does it put pressure on you?" And I'm like, "Don't say that."
But we was turned.
We was
lit.
I'm like, I'm happy for my friend. I don't think it's a competition. I don't ever look at it in that type of way. And I'm like, why automatically we got to be pressured just because our friend got married? It's like, no, like, whenever I'm supposed to be married, God's gonna make that timing. It was meant for Mimi and Mike to be married at 23. That was for them,
right?
You know. So why would I compare to her? Like, no. So like, why do you think like are some people in our generation think that way? Like, okay, I see them do that, so I got to do that by that time.
It's funny because I was actually, night shift, like we just be talking about stuff a lot of times.
Yeah.
And so we was actually talking about it the other night, like why does our generation feel the need to constantly be in relationships? Like, why you can't be alone? What's
Yeah.
wrong?
Yeah.
What demons are you fighting? Like why can't you sit down? And if it's in a case where it's like with Para and Michael, like I know we tell Para this all the time, like Japera, you would have been checked out. You wasn't meant for this generation types of love. Like Japera, she would have been like, game's over. I'm just not getting married.
Not planning, yeah. For real.
Right. So she don't got time for the game. She's strictly business. So that's why, and I think that when it comes to like, when we're saying like there's a specific time and plan for everybody's lives, like God kind of knows and orchestrates what people can handle and what people can, like intervene in different ways. And it was meant for Japera and Michael to be married at the age that they're married, and to me at the age that they met, and to be able to be strong in their long distance relationship, and to still stay strong through thick and thin, and then still come out on top. It was meant for that. But people in our generation,
no,
weak-minded. They're weak-minded. They're insecure. They're weak-minded, and they haven't tapped into themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing. And so like one thing that I truly believe and like I'm like a big advocate for is like if you have found like the love of your life and you genuinely think like this is the man or this is the woman that God has placed into my life and that I am going to marry them, good for you. And I'm glad. And I hope that y'all continue to work on y'all's relationship and that it continues to strengthen and that y'all get to that end goal. But if you haven't found that, why are you keep getting into pointless failed relationships? Like, why are you not taking a second to sit down and learn about yourself and learn about the things that you want in life, places that you want to go in life, the things things that you're willing to tolerate, the things you're not willing to tolerate? What like future goals do you have for yourself, and
even really, with friends too, like why are you always like I do kind of look at like some people like, wait, you guys are not friends anymore, like again it's like who are you surrounding yourself with, because you're always ending up in the same situation. So that I mean that's kind of like what you're saying with relationships, but even with friendships too, it's just like you gotta make sure you have your circle or at least that friend. Like I definitely agree that there's an obsession with like people trying to compare themselves. Like I was even like going over our notes for this show too, like I was just saying like people are very obsessed with other people's lives too. It's kind of like mind your business. Like mind your business, because like
really
what just because she's in I don't know, Paris or something, you're trying to see where she's eating and want to hate and be like, oh, I'm not gonna like it, or you're gonna send it to your friend through the DM like, girl, do you see this? Mind your business. Get your money up, go to Paris yourself. If you're inspired, you're inspired. But why, like, people don't mind their business nowadays. How do you feel about that? Because I know it happens a lot in Atlanta. I know it does.
Atlanta is famous for people thinking they're celebrities and they're not. That part.
Yeah.
But really it comes from like when I say like not tapping into yourself and not being secure in yourself, in your path in life and what you got going on in life and what you want in life. And then looking at social media. And social media is like one thing that can really be a positive influence to us.
Right.
But our generation is so weak-minded that I would say probably more than 60%, close to 75% of the time, social media is not meant for the good. And so like, for example, if you see a girl who is posting on her social media, like she's my 5 to 9 before my 9 to 5 type girl. Like, oh, she's up, she's cooking breakfast, she's meal planning, she's going to work out, she's walking her dog, she's reading 3 chapters of her book, and she's doing all this, and then she's going to work from 9 to 5. When you look at that, do you feel bad about yourself or do you feel motivated? And I think that's the difference.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, because when you see that, are you looking at that like, oh my God, like, why am I not doing that? You know, like, do you feel bad that you're not doing that?
Yeah.
Or are you understanding, like, that's cool. Like, she can have a 5 to 9 to 9 to 5. Me personally, I work 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. There is no 5 to 9 to 4, 9 to 5.
Yeah.
But I'm going to work out on my own terms, and I'm going to meal plan on my own terms. I'm going to do things on my own terms. I'm like, good for her. And I'm motivated. Like, I'm glad that she's still working on her health and still working on her mental health and still working on her emotional stability. I'm glad. And that motivates me to do that for myself, rather than, okay, I feel bad. Like, I feel bad within that I'm not doing those things, you know? So it's like your approach. Yeah. Are you following people because you genuinely like connecting with them, or are you following them because you're obsessed with their life, or because you're hating on their life? And, you know, like, why? If you don't like people's content, why are you following them?
See, and you know what? And honestly, I can put myself on the spot. I remember there was a time where I never necessarily hated on anybody, but I felt bad for myself because I didn't know myself. And I think knowing yourself, that's still like a growing process. It's like me personally, you're never really going to know your true self 100% because there's phases. Yeah, there's phases just growing. And so I think like right now, based on what we can talk about too, is like right now I feel like God is isolating me a little bit for me to know who Shai is, because I don't know myself outside my mom. So since she's gone now, it's like, who the fuck is Shai Walker? I don't know. As what I know right now, in my first 6 months, I like grits now. I don't like shrimp. I like to be more cuddled with my dog when at first I didn't. Like, I like to make sure my bed is like neat, like right when I wake up, like make sure I get that done, because if I don't, I'm going to get irritated when I come back home. Like little stuff like that. It's like, okay, you're starting to like be tapped in with yourself and your core, or it's like you're not tolerating bull crap from anything, everyone. And so like I've always been inspired by people who I follow or people that I know, but at the same time back then I used to be like, damn, like fuck, she's making money, I ain't making that much, or damn, she's out of town, I should be doing that too. But it's like you said, it's on your own terms. It's on your own terms. Not everyone has the same bag, and not everyone has the same friends, not everyone has the same family or support, like,
or time frames. Like just because you're not in your stage of life where you are like excelling in your career or in your business, doesn't mean that's not going to come.
Right.
So like you got to stay down for the come up. And I think that's where like social media has become really toxic to our generation, because social media is such a highlight platform, you know? So nobody's posting on there like, damn, I've had my business for 3 years and I haven't sold nothing, or I haven't reached this stage of my business, or like I'm not seeing profit. Nobody posts that. But once after that 3 years, the 4th year hits, and boom, your business is seeing profit. Oh, we're posting the profit.
And what's so crazy?
The outside,
no, go ahead, finish. I'll wait.
So on the outside looking in, all I see is like, oh, boom, your business is getting profit. I didn't see the 3 or 4 years worth of struggle that you went through. So I look at it and I'm like, why am I not seeing profit? Whole time I didn't know that you went through those struggles.
Yeah. And see what's so crazy? Someone like, I think when I hit like 300 followers on the Shai Talk, everyone was just like, okay. Like there was someone that literally DM'd me, was like, okay, like that's only 300. I'm like, no, we gonna celebrate the little wins.
What you waiting for?
Right. Like you have your own podcast and you get your first 300 and see what you gonna say. But it's like, no, I'm gonna celebrate. That's one thing that taught me too. Like, Shai, be blessed with what you have. Be blessed with what the support that you're giving. And the ones who are, that are not, that's their loss. And I bet when I am really up, because right now I feel like I'm up with 200-300, like whatever. Like, I feel like celebrating your little wins is just as your big wins. And you should be grateful for what you have in your life now, because God can snatch that real quick. He can snatch it real quick.
In 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah. Make you feel like, hey, like, all right, you want to keep playing? I'm gonna show you. Humble you. He humbles you in the most coldest ways. When you think you're up and you're doing it in a deceiving way, he'll be like, okay, all right, I got something for you.
Let's put you to the real test.
Yeah. So I just don't. People don't mind their business, or it's just like, that's another thing. Because I know you see it all the time out there, and I just want to get the real tea. Social media be having these girls with these BBLs and plump lips and all this. Listen, I mean, there's a few out here, and I be like, okay, that filter that you put on Instagram, real cute, but in person, it's giving.
You don't look nothing like that.
It's giving Oscar from Shark Tales.
Literally, I love that movie.
I love it too, but I'm just saying.
Like, I love Shark Tales.
Yeah, but
that just brought back some childhood memories.
Come on, yes, yeah, but like, I know you see that all the time out there, and that's social media influence.
Yeah, so, and that's like, when I say Atlanta is like the city of everybody thinks they're a celebrity and they're not a celebrity. Because, okay, in Atlanta, like, we do have a lot of like big name rappers who come from here. So, like, for example, like Lil Baby.
Yes.
Like Lil Baby. And then at that, like, you got Jada Wada. So you got Lil Baby, and then you got Jada Wada. And like, Jada Wada, she just goes to I literally go to the same nail salon as her. And it's just a regular nail salon. Like, she don't care. And that's the thing, it's like, but then, like, they're so easily accessible. These rappers and these scammers and these drug dealers and all these. Okay, let's just hold on. We're going to tap into that. Because why do I leave for work or come back from work in the mornings and my whole parking deck is full? Do y'all not have jobs?
Hey, my mama used to say that. My mama used to say that.
What are y'all doing out here?
Yeah, my mama used to be like, whenever you move or whatever, like, make sure you just check out who's parked and who's not, like, throughout the day, and see who's working and who's not.
I'm like, this car ain't moved. Do you not work the whole time? Like, and so that in itself is just like Atlanta's prime for rappers, scammers, drug dealers, wannabe celebrities, all of that. And its clout is a hell of a drug.
Right.
And it's a disease. And it is a mental illness. And these folks will spend their last dollar in their bank account to have some designer on them to post on social media. Of course. Or they'll spend their last dime to make sure that their butt is big. Just saying. But why are you not confident in the body? And I get it. And and that's one thing, like, to be real, like, honest, raw, and everything on this podcast is like, sports for me has given me like somewhat of a like mental not completely sound when it comes to my physique, right because and we can really tap into the mental illnesses that sports brings on to young folks, but we gonna take that. But so, like, that in itself, like, but I have to constantly remind myself, like, no, you put in the work to make sure you're healthy and, like, love the body that God has given you. And we was just talking about this last night at work too, is that I don't know if people say this in Washington, because, Atlanta has their own lingo.
Right.
They do too much. But in a city where everybody claims that they're cut from a different cloth,
we say it like that, like, y'all ain't really, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Like, y'all all look the same. Y'all are all striving for the same exact thing, but you cut from a different cloth.
Right.
But you want to get all this surgery to make yourself look like somebody else, but you cut from a different cloth.
Be for real.
Like, that don't even add up.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Seattle. We got a group of people that just think they're better, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, or they just do a lot, and it be cracking me up, because like, when you know the same group of people and you be out somewhere and you peep somebody from social media and it'd be like, hold up, that's what's the name? Like,
right.
The way that they're portraying on social media.
So Facetune can't go around with you when you're in real life.
Like,
like you really posted that thinking that when people saw you that they wouldn't be like, you don't look nothing like that
no,
for some likes.
and it's like, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you shoot in your body or what you get done. But if you gonna spend, make sure you go get it done right. Because I just be like there be some people I be looking at them like, I can't even look at you. Like, it's disgusting. And it's
Girl.
like in the next 15, 16 years, and you have kids or whatever, all that's gonna droop. It's gonna be lagging. So
yeah. And then at that, people are making like, you're taking out loans to get this surgery done.
I'd be damned if I get on a plane and gotta go like this for 9 hours to go back home because you can't sit on your ass. Are you kidding? No.
Or like you just saw those people on the news. They was going to Mexico to have a BBL done, and the cartel got them, and boom, they're dead.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to chase after a body.
Like
in a couple years.
Yeah.
We gonna be back on the little booties matter too.
Listen.
In a couple years.
I be playing. I be talking about my ass is fat. I know it's not, but I love my body. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just can never. I mean, the only thing like I only said was like, only if it gets down bad. Like, if I have kids and they juice my boobs out, I might. I don't know. But that's the first I'll go. I would never do no lip injections or my butt or anything. I just think that's way too much. And it's not safe. Because, like, have you ever watched K. Michelle's show? It was on Lifetime, like, last year around this time. And she was talking to people who, like, had, like, bad effects, like, from their BBLs and stuff. Like, damn near died. And I'm like,
yeah.
No, I can't.
Was it really worth it?
No, literally. Was it really worth it? But... yeah, I'm glad we got on that subject. People are probably gonna be mad we watch this show, but we're telling the truth.
And if you got a BBL, keep your BBL. You spend a lot of money on it.
Talk about it.
But I hope you love it.
Right.
I hope you really
and
love
make sure it matches the thighs. Okay.
And I hope that you're getting a lot of likes on Instagram for it.
Absolutely. I hope you're getting money for it on the Instagram.
Right.
You can get the profit on that. But yeah. So I want to talk to you about something else. So, okay, we've been talking about relationships, stuff like that. And so I'm pretty sure I'm not goofy or whatever. So have you dated outside your race?
I've only dated outside my race.
And okay, and rightfully so. And so was that, I wouldn't say like, you can't be like, well, obviously it's a choice, but like, do you just feel more comfortable, or like just based on who you are, you feel like they can relate to you better? Or
well, I definitely think one, like, there is like a physical attractiveness, like I'm way more attracted to people outside my race than people inside my race.
Okay.
Way more attracted. One. Two, I just feel like in general, the culture of basketball that I've grown up in, and just like, I don't know, like just the friends that I have, like the interests that I have, like just, I don't know, the things that I care about in life, like that's just, I just have never, I tried one time.
Okay, how was that? You was like,
never again.
Never? I understand. I get it.
Never. I was like,
yeah.
And no hate on anybody. Like, I'm not hating, but it's not my cup of tea.
It's not for you.
It's not my cup. It's not for me.
Okay.
And I tried it, and it was just not.
Okay, and like in those relationships, like, did they like? Did you ever feel like, okay, no, you only talking to me because I am a white girl? Or do you like, have you ever been in that type of situation where it's like, no, you only choosing me because of my skin tone? Like,
well, okay, so it's funny because like, so we're in the South.
Yeah.
So it's more of like, in the South, it's perceived more of like reverse. Like a lot of guys like think like, you only talking to me because I'm black.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, like stuff like that. And so like, one of my like first serious relationships that I was in, like I was his first white girl.
Okay.
So that in itself, when it comes to like family dynamics on like, and it was like one of my like first serious, like I'm in college relationships,
Right.
right? So family dynamics on both ends was kind of like, what's going
Yeah,
on?
like what is this?
Yeah, like we're not used to this.
Yeah.
And like, and from his side, it was like his family was more of like, you need to be careful because white girls just want you for your money and for you to give them cute babies.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And then from my side, it was like you need to be careful because there's like a big cultural difference and like not everything is the same.
Right.
So at that point, you really like learn to tap into like me. Like that was like one of my like big defining like moments of like tapping into who I am, what I want in life, being confident in what I want in life, being confident in the things that I want in life, or that I'm interested in life, should I say, and like knowing that I don't really give a fuck what y'all got to say.
Period.
Because this is me. This isn't you.
Yeah. I feel you.
And that comes from a lot of, and you would think that it would only come from like older generations, or you would think that, but a lot of younger generations too, like it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's really like, crazy.
I have no problem with interracial relationships. I really don't. Like, look, as long as there ain't no like, you know, racist vibes or anything, we good. Like, I feel like it's all good, you know. And I mean, we're in the 21st century. At this point, we've seen it all. I will say it do crack me up though, because I just be like, because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there'll be conversations where like me and my girls be out and we see like a dude with a white girl, whatever, and he gives us like this, like there's always this typical look that these black dudes give us when they're out with a white girl. It's kind of like not necessarily embarrassed, but they're just kind of like shit, like fuck, like
yeah,
you know.
Well, and I also think it depends on the type of white girl.
Exactly, because there be like you, like I be looking at sometimes I be like, you're with her, or like okay. Oh, okay. But I mean, I don't really see nothing wrong with it. I just feel like one thing I don't like though, off of a black man that I've seen many a times, is that they'll try to hold like a white girl trophy over our heads, like or just like or if you're trying to disrespect us and add him like, that's why I only date white girls because you black females are da-da-da-da. It's like, look, that's your choice, but you ain't got to take it that low. You know what I'm saying? And plus, that girl didn't have to be inserted in that conversation for you to make a point just because you like white girls. This is like, okay, you like white girls, that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm like, my uncles, I have an uncle who dated a white girl. I have a cousin who's married to one. And so, my family, we're good. You know, so I just wanted to ask that because it's like, all right, because I'm like, when Mimi was telling me the bridesmaids and stuff, and she's like, yeah, Megan Kate. And she was describing it.
I'm like, she giving out my government name.
Right. She said Megan Kate. And she was describing you, and I'm like, oh, girl sound like white chocolate. You sure she's like, yeah, she's white chocolate. I said, okay, cool. Fine with me. But she's like, yeah. She was like, I can't see. She was like, yeah, I can't see Megan dating nobody outside. I'm like, I feel it. I understand. Me personally, my auntie thinks I can date outside my race, but I'm like, I don't think so. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And it is like, as much as people want to say like, and I'm gonna be honest, like I get it, but I hate when people are like, skin is like just a color, or like race is just a thing. Like, it's not just that.
Right.
Like, be proud of the culture that you came from. Like, your culture is totally like who you are, what you brought up to be. Like, and I think people should really embody that. But it's like, also like, what if you are interested, or if that's like the culture or the race, like you decided to date outside your race. So for me, like Japera and Jalea and Jada, when it comes time to them taking out their braids, or it comes time to washing their hair, or it comes time to, yeah, come on, get on this head. You finna do these two strand twists. Like with me, they were like, you are not gonna have mixed kids, and they're not gonna have nappy hair.
Period. See, that's
Like,
it.
and so educating yourself on the things that you are interested in life, or that you care about in life, is like a very important factor into that. And I think that's when it comes like interracial relationships wise, of like, you have, when black guys hold over that like trophy, like white girl, like and chances are it's giving like white girl, fake hair, fake lips, fake boobs, fake butt, like that type of lifestyle. And then
Yeah.
like, but do you actually know anything about his race and the things that they care about? Like, and I think that, and that's when COVID came around and the whole world had to sit the fuck down for a second.
Yeah.
And we got brought to surface about the racial injustices that everyone knew went on in America.
Right.
But at this point, y'all have no choice but to pay attention to what's going on in America, because what else are you doing? And we're actually going to talk about this, because it's time to actually talk about this and get serious about this. What did you do to educate yourself?
Right.
Like, what did you do to advocate for others? Like, what did you do, like, when it comes to those things? And I just feel like when it comes to dating outside of my race, the race that, like, I have not surrounded by, like, myself by, but I do have a lot of friends who are black. And, like, especially with Japera, Jada, and Jalea, like, those are my homegirls, like, we Fort Likers. But, like, they are, like, real quick to be like, you're not going to be one of those white girls.
Period.
And that's, like, you're not going to be not a dumb white girl, but you're not going to be a white girl who's not educated.
Yeah.
So we're going to have these conversations. And, like, and as sad as it is, like, being in interracial relationships for a long time, like, I've had to have those conversations with my exes of, like, okay, so if we get pulled over, which is fucked up, like, let's tap into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are we having these conversations? Because of our skin color? But okay, America, like, okay, but look, having those conversations of understanding, like, okay, if we get pulled over, like, understand, like, this, that, and the third is going to take place, and like, I just want to make sure that, like, you understand A, B, and C is like gonna happen in order for me to be safe, in order for you to be safe, like, those conversations, and not taking it as like
offensive.
Offensive, or like being disclosed to it, but more of like, damn, like, I'm like, that sucks, you have to go through that, and I will never understand what it is like to be a black person in America.
See, and I'm glad you tapped into that, because I was just like I said, I have no problem with people who date outside their race, but I'm like just saying this as like as a black person, is like, you can explain it 10,000 times and that person might hear you, but they will never mentally understand unless that same situation happened to them about their color or race. And so it's like, how, or when, when you get into your next relationship, like, how do you take that in mentally? Because let's say you're married and you have mixed children, like, you gotta have that conversation with your mixed child. Like, what do you think that's gonna be for you? Like, do you think that's gonna be a lot, or?
Yeah, well, I definitely think that also that's one thing that, like, society has kind of like fucked up on, is like making mixed children feel like they have to pick one side of their race rather than the other. And then you have a mixed child who is half black, half white, and if she just resonates more with the white side of your family, like, you're whitewashed. Or if they resonate more with the black side of your family, like, you act too much like that. You know what I mean? Like, and why can they not just be mixed? Like, why can they not just be beautifully, like, brought together through two cultures and through two races, and as a product of that love? But instead, we're forcing a child to, like, pick one side or the other, and which it's just, it's because of the system. And we really want to tap into how the system is meant for people to fail, especially Black people in America to fail. Like, we can talk about that. But why on standardized testing up until a couple years ago? So I don't know what y'all had like growing up, but when we was in elementary school, we had these tests called CRCTs.
We had SATs, ACTs, yeah.
Yeah, and so you have to fill out your race right on there. Where did you ever see the bubble that said mixed race?
Never.
Right. So in that moment, immediately, as a young child taking a standardized testing, you're putting them in a position that they have to resonate with one race or the other. Instead, they just can't be whole and complete and confident in the fact that they are both races.
Right.
And I just think that when it comes to raising a child eventually who is going to be mixed, and God hopefully blesses me with children of my own, that when I have those conversations of them, like, there is going to have to be, although we've made steps in our culture and in America, as much as I want us to be a completely united and equal country, the odds are very slim.
Right. We have a long way to go.
Yeah, we have a long way to go. So having those conversations with my child of like, okay, like, you are half of this race and you are half of this race, and because of that, this, that, and the third is going to happen, and just educating my child so that they're not like taken like
oblivious.
They're not surprised, and they're not oblivious by the things that are going on in this world, but also allowing my child to like tap into who they want to be, like, really, like, you get to decide. Like, you get to decide who do you want to be in life. And nobody, and I would never in a million years make my child sit here and pick one side or the other.
Right.
And I just think that really just raising my child to be who they want to be, and like allowing them to be interested in the things that they want to be interested in, and just allowing them to just like be whole and beautiful in their own race and their own mixed race, and not making it political, like not dividing it, but just like making them understand, like, you are you, and you are like perfectly woven, and you're perfectly chosen, and who you are is who you are, and like whatever anybody else has to say, like, you don't have to pick one side or the other.
Love that. Yes, Megan. Look, these reels is gonna be popping. Yeah, I really hope people who take away from this episode, like, this is real talk. I'm glad, like, because you really, people who are 50 years old can't even have a conversation like this and not be offended. No. It's like
in being in healthcare, you see a lot. You see a lot of old people. Like, I've walked into patients' rooms like real time, and like, so I work on a neuro floor, so I'm working with a bunch of like stroke patients, brain bleeds, like traumatic brain injuries, and you don't realize how much the brain actually like controls like your whole body. But when you're 79 years old and you have a stroke, and basically the only thing that your brain knows is its conscience, and you walk in there to help them, and they're like, get this white bitch out of my room.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to give you your medication.
Yeah, so I'm trying to help you.
And then it's the same from the other way. We got patients dropping hard R on some of these people, and I'm like,
oh,
you do realize, like, you are in your most vulnerable state, and these people are here to help you.
Right.
And like the older generation, like,
look,
they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear it.
Look,
they don't want no.
No, it's like I said, like you said, it's gonna be a long way before we can actually get to close to 100%. I don't think we're even at 50 right now. But
we're not.
Calm. We got like.
But No,
you're fine. Go ahead.
I feel like, and it really starts with having, and we're not to those 50%, but I think that it does start with like this.
Yeah.
Like, it starts with having the conversation, because like, I will never understand what it's like for you, Shai, to be a Black woman in America. I will never understand that.
Yeah.
I can see the things that you go through, and I can, just like with my friends, like I can go to the store with them and I can see how people look at them and start to like clench their purses a little tighter, and like, I really want to deck you in the face because they don't want your money. They really don't want nothing from you, actually.
Yeah.
So like, we could really hook about this right now, but it's okay. I'm gonna let you have it.
Yeah.
And so I see it, but I don't understand because that's not happening to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And just having those conversations and educating people and making people aware, like, I think that's what a lot of people are not comfortable with, being uncomfortable and not comfortable with, like, tapping into things that they're not fully educated on. But how are you ever going to be educated if you don't have conversations? And how are we going to have change if we're not sitting there having these conversations?
Yeah.
And not just like the conversations of like Black Lives Matter, like,
yeah,
but having the conversations of like, okay, how does this make you feel?
Yeah, deep talk, deep.
Yeah, like, no, like actually getting to the root of like people's mental and emotional well-beings and state of like, what is it like for you to walk through daily life, and like, what is it, how do you feel when this, that, and the third is going on, and how can I be a better advocate, you know, like, how can I make a difference? Like, what can I do?
Right.
And be genuine about it and not just do it for social media because that was the cool thing to do during COVID, but to actually like be educated on like, okay, you're right, Japera, Jalea, and Jada, like, I don't want to be the white mom with kids whose hair like, so they go to school and it's
like you got a point. Yeah, you're trying to help me.
Yeah, so teach me.
Yeah.
You know?
I love
like,
that.
I'll help.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. Well, look, listeners, I hope you're listening. I hope you're really listening. Okay? Because, yeah, we're going to need that. Look, this might have to be a part 2, for real, for real. I'm trying to get Mimi on here, but you know how private she is.
She's
so, I know she's not. So, okay. Well, you know, we're going to end it off with this or that. Okay? You choose one. I'll try not to judge. Okay? All right. Okay. Lion King or Toy Story?
I'm a Lion King girl.
Period.
I don't really, I mean, like, I watch Toy Story, but like,
yeah, it don't hit like the Lion same. King. Now, did you like the new Lion King that came out?
Did I? Them little baby cubs were so cute.
I want to touch one, but my friends think I'm crazy. I'm like, girl, whatever.
I want one as a pet, actually.
Come on. Okay, Destiny's Child or TLC?
Destiny's Child.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Monica or Brandy?
Look, in Japera and Jada and Jalea gonna know. Monica, that's my girl.
Oh, you're the first to say Monica.
I love Monica.
Look, like, she's a goon. They call her Goonica.
We throwing on Monica in the car.
Oh yeah.
Turn it up. All the way up.
Hey. Oh look, I'm a Brandy girl. I'm sorry. Look, them first two albums was it for me. Okay, this is one I already know you're gonna pick. Lil Baby or Lil Durk?
That's hard.
Right.
That's hard.
I say in the category of music.
Right. Okay, so in a category of music, like, Lil Baby is Lil Baby, but I feel like this is so bad because I really do love both, but I do feel like when it comes to like being more versatile, like Durkio can make like love songs, and he has like a wider variety. Like, I feel like he's more versatile, but like Lil Baby's from the city. I can't pick. You can't make me pick that.
I got you. Okay, it's a tie. Okay, this one I'm judging. I'm really for real judging. Tupac or Biggie?
I'm gonna go Tupac.
Yes. Okay.
And not painting that portrait that you have in your house.
Oh yeah.
Or your apartment, wherever you live.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Thanks. I gotta send you a link. The guy, he makes all types of, like, he does all types of, he do like Nas and like everybody. I gotta send that link to you. Yeah, I got those when I first moved in. I was like, yeah, Tupac right here in the living room. Need that. Okay, 2 more. So, Pop-Tarts or Captain Crunch?
I love a brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tart.
Ooh.
I know, you can judge.
Blueberry and strawberry is mine.
It tastes too artificial to me.
The furthest I'll go is probably the Oreo, but the brown sugar, I can't.
Ooh, the brown sugar is so good.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
But I do love late night cereal, but I'm like a Cinnamon Toast Crunch type girl.
Now, don't think I'm weird, but you know what I put in my cereal? It's a must. Jake, don't judge me. I put ice in my cereal. It keeps my milk cold. Because I eat my cereal slow. So I don't dump all my cereal. I do like a couple whoop whoop. Yeah. Jake, okay. You're judging me right now, Jake.
But what happens when the ice melts? Like your milk don't get watered down?
No.
Are you sure?
Like till the end. Once it gets to that point, I'm done. You know?
So you don't so you're not a milk drinker?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't drink the milk. We're just gonna waste it. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay, and then last but not least, spring or summer?
I'm a, March baby, Pisces. Yes. I love spring because it's that perfect, like, we can be outside and I'm not mad. Summer, I'm going to be outside, I'm pissed.
See, what's you guys' typical weather, like in spring? Like, is it what, over 60? Or
It's bipolar. Yesterday, it was high of like 40 degrees. Today, it was 80 degrees.
Bro.
And I know in Washington, like,
yeah.
And that in itself, like being in Washington, like that was it's so funny because when I went there, it was like we were like, I don't know. Everybody was like, okay, we got into Ubers. Like we would go into an Uber and they're like, where are you from? Because you're not from here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, I'm from Atlanta. And they're like, yeah, okay. Or even like all the bridesmaids and the groomsmen being like, so what's it like in Georgia? Like,
right.
Like
we're just so lame over here. Like it's just like
the fact that y'all don't have Waffle House like blows my mind.
Look, y'all's Waffle Houses are
IHOP. Blows my mind. We have IHOP. Yeah. IHOP is gross.
Megan, like, don't do that.
IHOP is gross. You leave the club at 3 a.m. and go to Waffle House.
I know it's
All-Star Special.
Yeah. Man, I gotta come out there, man. I've yet.
You really do. No, you really do. Before Japera moves back to Washington, because she said she's gonna leave us.
Yeah, I heard that too. She want to come back to the home state.
My heart is a little broken, and I get it. I really do get it.
Yeah.
But that plane ride is awful. But y'all, we gotta get all y'all out here really before.
We were all turned at that wedding.
And I'm going to take y'all to the club. We're going to go to the club.
Look. I'm cool on the drinking. Okay? We're cool on the drinking. I think we were all good, but we all knew I think it was Kay and Tavion. Them two was done. They were done for at that wedding. So
no, I have some videos of you though. You was a little turned.
I need those. I need you to send that to me right away. I need to see that in 4K.
You was a little you was like sitting at the table and you was like giving that look like, okay, yeah, I'm drunk.
Well, yeah, send that to me. But Megan, thank you so much for tapping in.
Of course.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Yes. Everyone tap in. What we all on. We on, Apple and Google and Amazon and SoundCloud and Pandora and all that extra. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jake. Shout out to Layla. Shout out to Meg. Her stuff will be at the bottom, so make sure you follow her. This is a great episode. Episode 4 is now in the books. And this episode's probably not going to come out to the end of April. So you got a long way to go, Meg. But it's going to be great. This came out great. But thanks, guys. We'll tap in later and